One being Georgetown, I would say Yale, Harvard, Princeton, UPenn, Boston University, of course, and Howard University.
Right now, Abyssinia Haile is a rising senior at Minnetonka Regional High School in Wilbraham. She's enjoying her summer vacation in Ethiopia. She's looking at a fall full of college applications, testing, and fees. No easy test for any senior with a full course load. But there's one more thing making her life a little bit harder.
When I hear legacy admissions, it's just like, you know, how can you get rid of something that was actually kind of helping, minorities in the United States who have been underprivileged by the college admissions process?
As a first-generation prospective college student and the daughter of two Ethiopian immigrants, legacy admissions is working against her.
Legacy admissions has and continues to act as an impediment for students like me who weren't as lucky enough to have their parents receive a college education in the United States.
On June 27th, Abby testified at the Massachusetts State House in favor of a bill that, if passed, would have Massachusetts become the first state to ban the use of legacy admissions and preferences by both public and private higher education institutions.
It is a system that is deeply enrooted in unjust practices that are fostered for the sake of recycling alumni heritage through the bloodlines of their institution's history.
Created in the 1920s, legacy admissions was designed to keep Jewish, Catholic, and Asian students out of higher education institutions. Almost 100 years later, critics say it limits access for students of color. Just last week, the United States Department of Education opened a probe into Harvard admissions, saying their legacy preferences violate the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Harvard has not commented on the matter. Closer to home, according to Smith's college website, they have a 19% acceptance rate for the upcoming school year. They tell Western Mass News in a statement that 3% of their applicants are legacy students. They continue by saying, quote, banning legacy programs will not have a significant impact on Smith. Access to education has been the core value at Smith since its founding. At Springfield College, John Scully, the vice president of enrollment, tells Western Mass News while they love referrals from alumni, it doesn't factor into their acceptance process.
I think a student should be able to kind of stand or not on their own merits. And if somebody earns a spot in a college, they should get that spot rather than somebody getting a spot just because they have a relative who attended there.
I was honestly mesmerized by her testimony.
Mary Tamer, the executive director for Democrats for Educational Reform, sat next to Abby on the day of her testimony. Now, she tells Western Mass News.
I think when you hear the voices of students, and that is exactly, those are the important voices.
Students like Abby wait for legislative action that speaks louder than words.
It would just be so nice to have a world where, things such as wealth, money, class, and race and stuff like that wouldn't have to take into a huge account as to where we get to end up in life.
Abby Carnevale, Western Mass News.